Know, wonder, and learn.
Good day to you. I'm Renzo Miguel B. Viernes, a grade 5 pupil from Ramon Central School. How are you doing? Are you studying well like me? According to my mother, education is important for us to reach our dream professions in the future. What do you like to become when you grow? For me, I like to be an electrical engineer. I am fascinated by how electricity is generated and how it can run our appliances and gadgets. But how? As I browse the internet, I come up with this moving electric charge generates a magnetic field. A magnetic field induces electric charge movement, producing an electric current. Join me and be fascinated by the simple DC circuit and the relationship between electricity and magnetism in the electromagnets.
Good morning!
I'm your radio teacher,
I am your science buddy.
and I'll give you an exciting lesson that you'll surely enjoy.
Talks Radio. Education must continue.
Learning is a great avenue.
No one will be left behind. With new normal comes new learning.
New method, new way of understanding.
Keep on learning.
Keep on achieving,
There's no way of hindering.
enriching one's dream.
This is
Talks Radio, your number one source of science education.
Conveying a half an hour of quality scientific teaching on air.
This is
Talks Radio.
Hello, everyone! Isn't it a beautiful day today? By the way, have you eaten your breakfast yet? I hope you get yourself energized because it will be another fun-filled experience. Are you now ready to learn? That's good to know. I am Teacher Heroes W. Torres, your radio teacher for today, reminding you to always practice health protocols by washing your hands with soap and water or sanitizing them with alcohol. Welcome to School on the Air. It is Talks Radio, and we are back on another exciting episode of Science 5. This time, may I request everyone to please pick up their pen and notebook and look for a comfortable place to learn. Papa, Mama, Ate and Kuya, you can join our learners as he or she discovers new things today. Class, are you now ready? That is great. Then, let us begin. In our previous lesson, we found out that it was not just the mere presence of electricity that makes a bulb light up. It requires a circuit to be complete. In this manner, the different parts of a circuit must be present. Can you still recall all those parts? That's good to hear. But, for the benefit of everyone, let us refresh your memory by answering these questions. How many components does the circuit have? You get it right. The circuit has 4 main parts. What do we call a loop that allows electricity to flow freely? Good job! It is an electric circuit. The electric current follows and travels this path to provide energy to the load or device. And what are these components again? Perfect! You must have read your lesson. You are making me proud. Every circuit has a bulb or load, switch, source, and conducting wire. Remember that without the other, the electric circuit will not be complete, and it will not be functional anymore. You must be ready to learn. Let's proceed. While sitting, try to look around you and identify some devices or tools that work or function when electricity runs through them. I will give you 10 seconds to do that. Your time is up. Have you identified some of them? Impressive! As we look around us, we see several devices such as television, radio, electric fans, lamps, refrigerator, and many others. We seldom see any households that do not keep some of these appliances. Almost everyone has gadgets too. But what do these devices have in common? Yes, that is right. They use electricity as their source of energy. Inside them are circuits with different functions. Also, these devices work because of the electric current that flows in them. Today, we will continue to be amazed and explore how a circuit works. I am delighted because you were able to name all the parts of a circuit. But can you identify them based on their functions? Can you even remember the figures used to represent each part? Let's have a simple activity named Your Functions Look Familiar. As I give the function, you will tell the name, and at the same time, you will be taught how to draw the symbol of that part. You will need your pen and notebook to work on this activity. Are you all set? Please listen attentively. For number 1, a device or an object that uses electrical power or energy such as a bulb. What do you have in mind? Brilliant! It is the load. Let us try to draw its symbol. Write a big letter M first and then encircle it. I repeat, the letter M enclosed in a circle represents the load. Well done! How about the other components? For the second question, it is where the load gets its energy or source of electricity. One good example is a battery. What is your answer? Yes, the correct answer is the source. The source can power up the device. Just like when a bulb lights up when the wire transmits energy from the battery. Do you know how to draw its symbol? We can illustrate the source by using parallel lines. Draw a short and long lines. Did you get it right? Then, let's keep going. The longer line represents the positive charge. On the other hand, the shorter one depicts the negative charge of the battery. When the wire connects to both ends of the source, the electrons begin to flow. Number 3. This component carries the electricity. It is a cable or link that connects the battery to the load. What do we call this part? Correct. It is a conducting wire. This time, can you draw its symbol? Wow, that was fast. The sign for wire is as simple as a straight line, either vertical or horizontal or a combination of both. Super easy, right? What about the last part? Here is your cue. It is a device that controls whether to open or close a circuit. Bravo! It is a switch. To keep the symbols consistent, you need to connect 3 but very short lines. The position of the switch changes as we open or closes it. To flip it open, slightly draw the second line in a slanting position to show a small gap. In this case, the lights are off when the switch is open. It happens because opening the switch disrupts the flow of the electric current. By looking at it the other way, a closed switch will turn the light back on. It works that way. There you have it, the main parts of an electric circuit and their symbols. Nice work! Discovering more about electric circuit means learning the basics first. Do you agree? And you just nailed it. It means that you are ready for a more exciting topic. Kids, are you excited to learn more? I am incredibly pleased with your eagerness to learn. Since you are already familiar with the different symbols, which are essential in today's lesson, it's time to know more about the 2 types of circuits. Have you ever wondered how the electricity flows into your appliances or in your gadgets? Have you ever admired the decorative string lights that sparkle every holiday? But have you noticed that everything turns black all at once? I know, I can feel your curiosity from here. Now that you are familiar with the flow of a complete circuit, let's try something new. Welcome to the amazing world of circuits. Follow my lead, children. Do not get tired because we are going to illustrate the same circuit just like the first time. The only difference is that we will try to add other components. Shall we start? Alright then, get ready with your pen and notebook. Draw the symbol of a source. Again, you can illustrate it by using a parallel line. After which, let's add two bulbs across each other. Place them lower than the source. You heard it right. So, one on the left and the other one on the right. Can you still follow? I will repeat. On top is the source with two bulbs on each side. Illustrate another symbol by adding a closed switch just below the source. Draw its symbol by connecting three short lines. We can tell apart if it is an open or a closed switch. If the second line is in an inclined or slanted position, it is open. Again, position the closed switch under the source. What comes next after everything that you have placed? Brilliant! Finally, use wires to connect all components. To continue, let us check the placement of your components. Take a look at your diagram. The source is at the top and a closed switch is in the opposite direction. There should be two bulbs. Finally, a wire connecting all the parts. You nailed it, kids! You are on the right track. If you notice, there are more elements added, but that is still an electric current, only in a different setup. Looking at it, how many loops have you created after connecting the parts? You are a keen observer. I like that. There is one continuous loop that connects the bulbs, source, and switch. Do you have any idea what this is? It is called a series circuit. So, what is a series circuit? A series circuit is a type of circuit that consists of a single loop or path where the electric current can flow. Once the electric current travels along a closed path, the bulbs light up. But what if we try to add another bulb? Do you have any idea what will happen next? Good answer! Right there! If we keep adding another bulb, all the bulbs will still shine as long as it maintains a closed circuit. One more thing, when we put other elements like a switch, as long as there is a single loop, it is still a series circuit. Can you follow along? It seems that you are a little bit confused. Allow me to elaborate further. In this case, for ease of illustration, we can remove the bulb by putting a small piece of paper on the drawing. Again, you can temporarily cover the bulb using a small piece of paper. When we remove one of the bulbs, what will happen to other bulbs? Any thoughts? Okay, hear me out. If we try to remove one of the bulbs, it will create a gap or break in the circuit. What does a gap in a circuit mean? A gap or break means that there is a discontinuity of the circuit. Either the switch is out or the bulb gets busted. At some point, the wire has disconnected from the power source. Remember that an electric current will only flow in a closed circuit. Any gap or break anywhere along the pathway will cause a significant effect on the load or the bulb. Removing any of the components means putting a break along the circuit. Hence, If we remove one of the bulbs, it will turn the other bulbs off. In the same manner, as the switch opens, all three bulbs turn off. The same principle applies. No matter how big or small the gap is, one thing is for sure. This gap will produce a disruption in the free flow of the electric current. And that makes the entire circuit useless. Did you get the idea of why things happen? Yes, precisely my point. It has to do with the number of loops available in a circuit. This thing happens when the type of circuit used is a series circuit. Once a break occurs, there is no other way that the electric current can pass through it, since there is only one path present. The other bulbs for the entire circuit will no longer be useful. Oh no! What about the other bulbs? Everything goes to waste. Don't you agree? Is there any other way to light the bulb? Can you think of another arrangement to save the other bulbs from going to waste? Well, let's try to find out. Come on, kids! It's time to learn more about the other types of circuits. What are we going to do next? What a brilliant idea! Let's make a new diagram to see for ourselves. First, draw the symbol of a source. Can you still recall its symbol? Very good! Use a parallel line to illustrate it. Next, place the first bulb under the source. A big letter M and close in a circle. Nice work! Then, add another bulb just below the first bulb. That's the second bulb. Now, add one more bulb. And it's complete. How many bulbs do we have already? There, you've got 3 bulbs. To finish the diagram, connect all the components using a wire. Good job! Did you notice something? How many loops do you have? Now, you're talking. There is more than one loop in the circuit. Just follow the wire to track down the number of loops. Kids, what you just have illustrated is a diagram showing a parallel circuit. What does a parallel circuit mean? And how does it differ from a series circuit? Any thoughts? It's pretty clear that there is more than one loop parallel to each other. Hence, the name parallel circuit. The electric current flows independently along each loop. Can you figure out what will happen if we remove one of the bulbs on the first loop? Again, for ease of illustration, we can remove one of the bulbs by placing a small piece of paper on the drawing. Have you tried it? Again, you can temporarily cover the bulb on the first loop by using a small piece of paper. The question now is, what will be the effect of this on your circuit? Yes, you have a point. For instance, if there is a break in the first loop, say the bulb burns out, this issue will not affect the other parts. Unlike in a series circuit, the other bulbs in a parallel circuit will continue to light up. The same thing happens if the second bulb is broken or removed. The first and third bulb is still shine. The only thing affected is the bulb on the faulty circuit. There are indeed ways to save light bulbs. Using the same illustration, try adding a switch. Yes, it is possible to add or replace the types of components in a circuit. Here we go. Draw a closed switch right next to each bulb. You are doing great. Again, what is the function of a switch? That's right. It opens or closes a circuit. Hence, it controls either to switch on or off the bulbs. Referring to the diagram, opening the first switch will automatically turn the bulb off on that loop. Will the other bulb also turn off the same way? The answer is no. Since there is a closed switch, the other bulbs will remain illuminated. More so, the rest of the circuit will still be working, and only the affected loop will not function. However, if we open all three switches, none of the bulbs will light up. It does make sense, right? Both types of circuits play a role in every device that we possess, just like the decorative lights we often see during the holiday season. What do you think is the type of circuit used? Some of you are undecided, but it's okay. Most of the time, they set them up using a series circuit. The series circuit has a continuous loop. Otherwise, it is a parallel circuit. If you can still recall, a series circuit is more economical because it requires less wire and components. Apart from this, it is easier to assemble. But of course, there is a downside to using this type of circuit. You are correct. The answer is quite simple. If one part fails, the whole circuit stops. The same thing happens, the entire string of decorative lights goes off. On the other hand, most of the devices are assembled using a parallel circuit. In our household alone, they use this type as circuit. Why is this so? Exactly. It is considered the most widely used type of circuit because of its usefulness over a series circuit. If one part has failed, the rest of the components will continue to work. Do you know why? Correct. Each component has its path. Keep in mind, in a parallel circuit, the electric current has other pathways if there is a gap or fault in the other loops. Can you tell me the disadvantages of using parallel circuits? You are very clever. One downside is that it requires a lot of wire and components. At the same time, safety issues may occur because of the multiple connections added to the circuit. But of course, safety measures should always be priority in handling both types of circuits since we are dealing with electricity. Do you agree with me? Now that you have learned more about the two types of circuit, namely series circuit and parallel circuit, can you tell the difference between the two? Let us simplify everything. Gather all your thoughts and here we go. Use the table to try to distinguish between series and parallel circuits. In the first column, write type of circuits. Write under this column the two types of circuits, series circuit and parallel circuit. In the second column, try to figure out how many loops are there in each type of circuit. Label this line as the number of loops present. In the third column, briefly explain how a break or gap affects the circuit. Lastly, the fourth column contains the advantages and disadvantages of using the circuit. Label it as positive and negative sides of circuit. Are you all set? Let's do this, children. Take a look at your table. The first column should be types of circuits. The second column has the number of loops present. For the third column, the effect of a gap. For the final column, positive and negative sides of circuit. To continue, let's try to complete the table with what we have learned today. We have discussed the two types of circuits. The series circuit has one continuous loop, while the parallel circuit has multiple loops. I will repeat, the series circuit has one loop, and the parallel circuit has more than one loop. Any gap or break along a series circuit will stop the flow of electricity. It will turn off the bulb. On the other hand, any discontinuity or gap in a parallel circuit will not stop the entire flow of electric current. Thus, the other bulbs will still light up. When it comes to the advantages and disadvantages of both circuits, a series circuit is a lot easier to assemble and is more economical because it requires less wire and components. The negative thing about this is that if one part fails, the whole circuit stops. It turns off the bulb. In contrast, a parallel circuit is more convenient to use than a series circuit. If one part is faulty, the rest of the components continues to work. It lets the other bulbs light up. One downside is that it uses a lot of wire and parts. Did you write it down? I hope you get all the information needed. Finally, you made it. That's everything about the two types of circuits. The table is now complete. That's it, kids. One more activity before we are finally over. It is only but right to check your understanding of the lesson. One way to do that is to give you a quiz. This won't take long, just a short quiz, a 5-item quiz. You can do this. I know that you listened well earlier. Pick your pen and your activity notebook and let's do this. Okay, stretch your arms. Take a deep breath. Are you feeling better? That's good. Please write a series/parallel circuit to mark your quiz. Write true if you think the statement is correct, or false if it is incorrect. Again, just write true if the statement is true. Otherwise, write false. Please listen carefully. Do not worry, because I will repeat each item twice after hearing this sound. It means your 3 seconds are off. Let's get down to this. For number 1, in a parallel circuit, when one bulb is burned out, the other bulbs will still light up. Again, in a parallel circuit, when one bulb is burned out, the other bulbs will still light up. For number 2, a parallel circuit has only one pathway of electricity. I will repeat. A parallel circuit has only one pathway of electricity. How are you doing? Very good. Next, for item number 3. At home, it is better to use a series circuit. As promised, I will repeat it twice. So listen attentively. At home, it is better to use a series circuit. Are you still there? Let's keep going then. Number 4. In a series circuit, when one bulb is burned out, all the other bulbs will not light up. In a series circuit, when one bulb is burned out, all the other bulbs will not light up. You are doing great, everyone. Finally, we are down to number 5. In a series circuit, electricity can still flow through the other pathways. Did you get it right? I will repeat. In a series circuit, electricity can still flow through the other pathways. That's it for your short quiz. You deserve a round of applause. Hang tight. Do not keep your pen and activity notebook yet because we will check your answers right away. It's all right. Are you excited to know how well you scored on your quiz? Let's see. For number 1, the answer is true. In a parallel circuit, when one bulb is burned out, the other bulbs will still light up. Number 2 is false. A series circuit has only one pathway of electricity. Again, the answer is false. Number 3 is false. At home, it is better to use a parallel circuit. I will repeat. Number 3 is false. How are you doing? Okay, relax. For item 4, the answer is true. Again, true. Finally, for number 5, the answer is false. In a parallel circuit, electricity can still flow through the other pathways. I'll repeat, 5 is false. Count the number of checks and write your scores at the top right corner of your notebook. Did you get a perfect score? Congratulations! You made that look easy. For those with lower scores, you will still have a chance to perform better. You all did great today. I hope that you had fun and learned something at the same time. Kids, you can appreciate the lesson better by constructing the two types of circuits, but do this only under your parents' or guardian's supervision. That ends our lesson for today. Thank you for staying until the end. I hope that you will continue to join us in the next episode. Only here at School on the Air. Same time and at the same frequency. Another new topic awaits all of you. We will bring fun and discover new things together right at the comfort of your home. On behalf of our scriptwriter, Miss Joy R1, our technician, Miss Vanessa Joy Isaturio, and the SDO Isabela RBI production team, thank you very much. I am your radio teacher for today, Sir Heroes W. Torres, reminding you once again to stay safe and follow the health protocols. See you again next time. Enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.